So I have people ask me if I take anxiety medications. If so, has it helped me? Do I still take it now? It's things like that. I have only taken one anxiety medication. That was back in 2016. I don't remember the name. If I'll put it down this in the description if it pops up in my head. But when I took it, to be honest, when I was trying to take it, I started having these phobias of taking anxiety medication because I didn't know if it would help me. Because I started looking them up. It's like when you Google symptoms of anxiety, like chest pain, it says heart attack. So that's what popped in my head. And then I started reading about all these forms that people say they try to taper off the anxiety medication because it was making them feel sick. Some people said it made them feel even worse than they did before, and then after a couple of weeks, couple of months, then they started to feel better. With anxiety, you always think for the worst case scenario, and for myself, I kept thinking, what if what if the medication doesn't help me? What if it makes me worse? What if it just made me worse and worse and worse every day I took it? What if I had a allergic reaction to it, and that's why it took me so long to actually finally say yes. Because when I went to the urgent care in 2016, the reason why I went there, the urgent care in the hospital, was because I was having panic attacks that would last for an hour, if not longer. If I had a panic attack that lasts for an hour, it takes me an hour and a half just to calm down. And then after I calmed down, a couple hours later, I have another panic attack. So I remember that day when I went to the hospital, the urgent care. I went with my dad, and my two brothers went with us. I was already housebound at the time. I was living here and there, but I wasn't living like how I am now. I would only go for a quick walk, bike ride, and hurry up and get home. I was like, I better hurry up and leave and come back before anything happens. Now it's like, I'll just leave. I don't think about anything. I just leave. So that's one reason why I didn't take the medication. It's because I Googled up, what other people were saying. But then I had to realize that, everyone's different. What might work for you might not work for me. What might work for me might not work for you. It's all about trial and error. That's what the doctor even told me. I even asked, like, okay, what's the side effects? And she said, it's different side effects for everyone. She even said, you won't know if it helps you because you never took it. She asked me if my family doctor gave me any anxiety medication. I told her, to be honest, I was housebound. So when he told me to go see a therapist, talk to a therapist, I started having social anxiety. I didn't want to leave the house. I was scared to leave the house. I was afraid to talk to, I was afraid to talk on the phone, stuff like that. And then she said, well, the medication, you might not have side effects and things like that. She said everyone's different, so it's kind of hard to tell if you get it. So after a while, I decided to take the medication. I don't remember the name of the medication, but if I do, I'll just put it in the link in the description. Did the medication help me? Yes, it did. It took all the symptoms, sensations I had that day. The dizziness, the headaches, the head pressure, everything. The detached feeling, everything. I felt normal for I think maybe 14 plus hours. Keep in mind, the 8 hours I was asleep. I actually got a good night's sleep that day. I fell asleep as soon as I got home. I ate, and then I fell asleep. And that's kind of hard for me to do, is eat and then rest for a little bit and finally sleep. And then when I was able to do that, and then I realized that when I woke up in the morning, I was able to just get off my bed without thinking. I didn't have any thoughts of like, oh, I wonder, am I gonna panic today? How many panic attacks I'm gonna get? Stuff like that I used to get. I didn't have any negative thoughts. I wasn't like, checking for symptoms, sensation, and then went to the bathroom and I was still tired. One of the side effects of that medication for me the side effect for myself was I noticed was the drowsiness. I also felt like a zombie. What I mean by felt like a zombie was I felt like I had no emotion. I was walking around with like I couldn't feel anything. When it was cold, I didn't feel cold. When it was hot, I didn't feel hot. It's like my body felt like it was numb. It's like the medication just numbed my mind and my body. I accidentally hit my elbow on something, the funny bone, and then when I hit it, I didn't feel any pain. Normally when you hit something, you will go like, ouch, that hurts, or you can feel it, but you don't say ouch or anything like that. When I hit it, I just walked off like I didn't feel anything. I just turned around and I was like, and then I start thinking like okay. So I just started thinking like, how come I feel no emotions, things like that. And it didn't do me into a panic attack or anything like that, because I think the medication just like blocked me from wanting to panic, which is a good thing. I mean, it felt great, but feeling like you had no emotion, you feel numb and stuff like that. It's like a zombie, I didn't really like it, to be honest, but I mean, I felt normal. I felt no symptoms, which was a good thing. But at the same time, I was like, why do I feel this way? But after I woke up, I went to the bathroom. I didn't even think about, like, I didn't start body checking if I had any symptoms, sensation, things like that I usually do, which was a plus for me. And then after that, I fell back asleep because the drowsiness from the medication. And then after that, I think I fell asleep for an hour or two, woke back up. Then that's when the medication will finally just, the medication just like stopped, it just worn off, and then the anxiety kicked back. Then I start feeling all the symptoms, all the sensations and stuff like that. And then after that, and then I was depressed again. I was like, okay, I feel great for 14 plus hours. How come and then the medication worn off, and then my parents like, oh, did the doctor ask you to get refills? I said, no, it's urgent care. They don't give you refills and stuff like that unless you go to your family doctor. I said, well, why don't you go to the doctor and to see if they'll give you refill? I say, I said I didn't want to take it because I kept thinking maybe the medication didn't help me. Maybe it was because my anxiety just calmed down on its own, because after a while your panic attack just slowly calms down, and then it goes away for a little bit and then comes back. That's why it was in my mind. I say, I don't know if the medication helped me or not. Then I say, you know what, I just want to beat this thing without taking medication, because I start picking up that phobia with medication. I was afraid, what if this happened, what if that happened? So that's why I didn't want to take it, and for me, I was like looking up Google, what's the symptoms, what the sensations you get, and then I start seeing that I start having like symptoms I didn't see on the list after I took the medication. I was like, oh great, this medication did give me some new, gave me one new symptom I didn't get, which is this flash of light in the corner of my eye. I'll start and then I said, that's when I didn't want to take the medication anymore, and I didn't want to think about taking any more anxiety medication, because I kept thinking, okay, I just got a new symptom after I took this medication. What if I take more? Every time I'm going to take one, I'm going to wake up with another symptom. That's why I decided not to take it. Don't get me wrong, there are people that say it doesn't help them. There are people that say the medication helped them. So it really depends. It really depends on the person that's taking it. I talked to a few people that has anxiety. They told me they've been taking the medication for a year, and they're able to go to work. They're able to do things they thought they couldn't do. Like they couldn't do anymore. It's like what I'm doing now, you know, driving, leaving the house, going to the mall, the store, stuff like that. But I'm doing it without the medication. So, you know, for me to do it without the medication has really helped me. You know, it took my depression away. The medication didn't give me depression. I had depression as soon as I became housebound, and now I'm happy to say I don't feel depressed because I live in my house every day, you know, for the 430 something days. But yeah, that's why I don't take medications anymore, because you know, I pick up that phobia of taking medication. What if it doesn't help? What if it made it worse? And what if I had a reaction to it? You know, things like that. I mean, I could have said like, what if it helps me, right? Things like that. But you know, whatever. But right now is my mind is on you know, getting better. The way I'm getting better now is by leaving the house. And to me, the positive things that I do is my medication is feeding my mind positive thoughts, and by me feeding myself positive thoughts, the anxiety is slowly decreasing. You know, a lot of my symptoms have decreased. No more depression. You know, I'm able to sleep. I'm not waking up with all these crazy what if thoughts and negative thoughts in my mind like I used to. You know, like before, when I used to get them so bad that I would have so much negative thoughts and etc. But anyways, that's the reason why I don't take any medications. And you know, I'm about to head back home right now.